All right, we're gonna turn this ugly MFer into this delicious soup right here. And it's gonna be incredible. I saw a leaf on the ground today, and that means it's fall, so we're gonna kick off some butternut squash soup. We got a butternut squash here. It's about 2.5, 3 pounds. When you're at the grocery store, it's probably gonna be like, I don't know, one of the ones that looks like it's on the bigger side. Actually, this is the perfect, haven't used this bad boy yet, but this may be a good little tool for this. Just kidding, all right. Whew. That's what I'm talking about. All right, probably cut off a little bit too much on the end, but it's all good. We're gonna flatten this side with just a sharp knife. And now we're gonna try and get it like right down the center. So just straight down. You can use your other hand. Boom. And there you go. Cut off a little bit too much at the bottom there, but it's all good. The spoon, just scoop out all of this. We're gonna take these, we're gonna put them away for something else. You can roast them in the oven with like a little bit of salt and pepper. Put a little bit of cinnamon on there for some spice, whatever. You can make it super fall flavored, but we're not gonna use them today. Take your squash and hit it with a little bit of olive oil. You can use some avocado oil. I know my mom would want me to say that in this video, but just a little bit, a couple tablespoons. And now we're gonna season it with just a little bit of salt. And what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of rosemary here, just for a little extra aromatic flavor. Boom, pop it on there. And that's it. All right, we're gonna roast this bad boy at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. Remember that the lower you put something on the oven, that's where like all the heat is. So we're gonna put this in the lower half of the middle. We're gonna check it in like 30 minutes, and if it's tender, we'll just, poke it with a fork. And if it's nice and tender, then it's good to go. But we'll see how long it takes. Let's make some croutons. Serrated. Just gonna take a couple, decent thick slices of bread here. All right, got a couple slices of bread, simple. You don't have to use like fancy farmer's market bread. You can use just plain old white bread, whatever you got. Just gonna tear off the crust. All right, now we're just gonna take this and kind of just tear it into crouton-sized chunks. You can totally cut this into perfect squares if you want, but I don't know. Why would you do that, I'm gonna go for that rustic feel. Boom. 2 seconds, turn up bread, plain and simple. Take about a tablespoon of olive oil, just drizzle it in there. A little pinch of salt. Some black pep. And now I'm gonna take some cinnamon and cloves and use it for the soup, but to kind of echo the flavor, I'm gonna take a little bit of it and put it in the croutons also. So, pestle and mortar time, my #1 favorite thing. Throw those bad boys in there. This YouTube channel is just gonna be a compilation of me smashing shit in this thing. Do I look like a maniac? It's all part of the fun. Okay. Not too much, nothing too crazy. A little bit of fresh thyme. Just go backwards down the stem, peel it off. A little bit of honey for sweetness. This is sort of the secret ingredient to delicious croutons. Super fall flavors, gonna be delicious. Toss it up with your hands. That's it. Just kind of want to spread them out evenly on a baking sheet. Just throw it right in with your squash. Now you want to keep an eye on those bad boys. Check on them every 5 minutes. You should get a nice golden brown color after, 15 minutes or so. But we'll just keep an eye on it. I'll keep you updated. Yo, if you like these videos, like and subscribe. For real. Maybe one day YouTube will let me put ads on these videos, but until then, I'll just keep making this stuff for you and hopefully you like it. Now, check on these croutons. Oh yeah. Now look at that. So these croutons are in there for about 10 minutes and they are perfect. Golden brown, absolutely delicious. They're gonna add some good crunch to the soup. Every meal needs something crunchy and soup is no exception. So we got these delicious croutons to top our soup with and yeah, they're delicious. Sweet and salty, baby, my favorite. Let's take a look at the squash, see what's going on. What up, squash? Pop this out for a sec. Oh yeah. Knife slips right in. I'd say this is actually good. Nothing on the knife. Just like testing a cake. And we're just gonna let this cool down for a second. Boom. Then we're gonna scoop it out and put it in the pot with the rest of our mirepoix that we're about to make. So slide this out of the way for now. All right, we're gonna get this pan up to a little bit of medium heat. Throw in some butter. Couple tablespoons. Let's prep some veggies. Just gonna rough chop an onion here. This whole thing is gonna get blended up, so you don't really need to like dice these veggies too finely. But you do wanna help the blender out a little bit. We're gonna do one whole small yellow onion. You can use a white onion too. Get that nice and soft. Go ahead and peel a carrot. Do you need to peel a carrot? Probably not. You could just wash it off, but whatever, it's quick. We're just making a quick little mirepoix here, which is like the base of just about every delicious soup. Carrot. So one celery stalk. Now, I'm gonna throw in a couple sage leaves too. Just cause something about butter and sage gives you that fall flavor. We're just gonna let that get nice and soft. After that's cooked for a little bit, we're gonna throw in a little bit of garlic. I never like to put the garlic in too early because it has a tendency to burn and it kind of has a bitter taste when it's burnt. But if you wait a little bit, you're all good. When you cut garlic, you just chop off the root end there. Simple. And give it a smash. And it'll pop right out of the paper, just like that. Paper? Skin? I don't know what it's called. And then you can just give it a little chop. Doesn't need to be too fine either. I mean, we're gonna blend all this, so whatever, but a little rough chop. Right in. We're gonna hit it with a little salt. We're gonna add a little black pepper. As much as you want. I like it pretty peppery. Having the spices in the hot butter like this is gonna help it bloom and make it a lot more flavorful as opposed to sort of like adding it in once the soup is done. Let's grind a little bit of nutmeg in this bad boy. I've had bad experience with this in the past. Ow. You don't need a ton, but just to get a little bit of that fall spice scent in the air. And then, out of our best friend, Mr. Pestle and Mortar, a little bit of ground cloves and cinnamon. Boom. And we'll just let this cook for a while until it's all nice and soft. All right, let's get our squash in there. This smells incredible. I'm gonna throw it right in. Now this smells incredible. You could probably honestly serve this on a plate, but we're gonna go ahead and add in some chicken stock. Now I got 4 cups here. I'm not gonna pour it all in. I'm gonna kind of do a couple cups. We'll add more depending on how thick it is. We're almost there. We're gonna bring this up to a boil. Then we're gonna simmer it for a little bit and we're gonna blend it up. Check for, seasoning. Is it too salty? Is it too sweet? Whatever. We're gonna adjust it and we're gonna adjust it for consistency and then we're gonna fucking eat it because it's gonna be delicious. Immersion blending time. You can do this in a blender. This thing just makes it a lot easier. Otherwise you gotta kind of like scoop it in batches. So this thing's been simmering for a little bit. We'll turn it down. We're gonna give it a little blend, immersion blend. Getting hot over that soup pot, I'll tell you that much. Get a little splash down, that's okay. All right, now we're getting to the consistency we want. Still got little chunky pieces in there, but let's go ahead and give it a taste, see if we need to adjust for seasoning at all. It's probably pretty hot. Tastes pretty amazing. We're gonna do a little bit more salt. This will actually make it sweeter, believe it or not, because there's so much sweetness in the squash that this will kind of bring it out. Let's blend this a little longer. I want it to be pretty smooth, and then I'm gonna run it through a strainer actually, just to get out all the chunky bits. Now this is smooth and delicious, but we're gonna make it extra smooth by passing it through the strainer. Takes a sec to get all this through here, but trust me, it's gonna be super, super smooth once you do. You can see how smooth that is. Let's get this set up in a bowl here. First, though, get a couple chives ready to rock. Bowl. Fucking way too high. We're gonna get some crème fraîche. Kind of like sour cream, which you could also use, but sour cream can actually curdle if it gets too hot, so crème fraîche won't. That's why a lot of people use it in soups and things. Ooh, it's like a little less tangy version of sour cream. Crème fraîche. Just a little dollop in there. A little bit of crouton action right in the middle. And some chives. Call it a day. All right, so here it is. We're gonna give it a little taste here. Yep, delicious. It's sweet, it's salty, tastes like fall. It's the perfect soup recipe. No one's not gonna like this. I hope you make it and you'll love it.